Use a vector method to show that these lines do not intersect. So our first line is 1, 2, negative 3 plus lambda 3, negative 2, 6. And our second line is negative 7, 9, negative 2 plus mu 4, negative 6, 5. Now note that the lines are not parallel. So looking at the I components, we have 1 plus 3 lambda. So if they were going to intersect, at some stage that needs to be equal to negative 7 add 4 mu. And looking at the I components, sorry, that was the I components. Looking at the j components, 2 minus 2 lambda is equal to 9 minus 6 mu. And then the k components, negative 3 plus 6 lambda is negative 2 add 5 mu. Now let's call this 1, 2 and 3. None of them look particularly easy to get things to eliminate. I'm going to use 1 and 2. So if I do 3 multiplied by equation 1, that gives me 3 plus 9 lambda is negative 21 add 12 mu. And if I do 2 times equation 2, that gives me 4 minus 4 lambda equals 18. Take away 12 mu. So if we now add these, we get rid of mu. So let's add them. That gives me 7 and 5 lambda is negative 3. So 5 lambda equals negative 10. Lambda is negative 2. And if we sub that in 1, that gives me 1 take away 6. Lambda is negative 2 equals negative 7 add 4 mu. So negative 5 equals negative 7 plus 4 mu. 4 mu equals 2, so mu is a half. So what we've got here is that lambda is negative 2, mu is a half, would make these first two equations work. In other words, the I component and the j component would be the same. But if these lines are not going to intersect, then the k component would then be different. So let's try that. So if we look at the left hand side of the k component, so we're looking at the k component here. So the left hand side is going to be negative 3 add 6 lots of negative 2, which is negative 15. Now let's look at the right hand side. That's going to be negative 2 plus 5 times a half. So that's negative 2 add 2.5, which is 0.5. So these are not equal, and therefore the lines don't intersect. The I and the j are the same for these values of lambda and mu, but the k would be different. Now, I pointed out that the lines weren't parallel to start with, and they don't intersect. And lines that are not parallel, which don't intersect, are known as skew lines.